Concord lived short, but provided a lot of material to discuss. Huge project being developed for 8 years that costed hundreds of millions of dollars has been closed just after 2 weeks of being live. Why? How did that happen? It really got me curious. I'm trying to answer this question in the summary chapter. But before we meet there, let's talk about one of the major factors responsible for this disaster, which are characters.
One of the worst the gaming industry has ever seen.
They are soulless, uninspired, boring and conceptually stupid. Creators also missed a lot of design opportunities. Let's find out why.
Concord's characters are stupid and ugly.
Despite what her name suggests, her pronouns are she, her. I know that thanks to the character select screen. For some reasons Fireworks Studio, people responsible for that, assumed that I was gonna need such info. Her design is a mix of 3 characters. The skill is obviously stolen from Quake Champion's Ranger, who has the very same teleport orb. Well, almost the same, because it can't telefrag people. The body shape of Nightcrawler from X-Men, the look and behavior of a 45-year-old washout who was partying her entire life and refuses to grow up. So 2 parts are stolen and what they added is an aged hippie with brain defects. She has an electrostatic SMG as a main weapon, whatever it means. It shoots bullets made of styrofoam that stick to the enemy. Anyway, it looks silly with it. That's because she looks like a party clubber, not like a soldier. They don't even hide it. She wears no armor and doesn't look like a threat. They did it on purpose, of course. It was supposed to be the cute one, right? Well, there is a thin line between being a cute warrior and being a getting old wacko who smoked too much in past.
And that line has just been crossed.
Come on, let's go!
Since it is presented as a cool, crazy club rat, an SMG simply doesn't suit her. Give her a booze launcher and a beach claw as weapons and weed smokescreen as ability. I think it's a good idea. He throws healing pads. I purposely avoiding saying he is a medic because a medic heals people and has decent knowledge about medicine. All this guy does is throwing pads that heal people. Anybody can throw discs, it doesn't make him a doctor.
But there are surely things that make him a patient.
And I am not referring to his 2nd degree obesity only, but look at this. Is that an insulin pump used by diabetics? This design is terrible, he looks like a hobo. They do have long hairs and wear big warm cloaks, gloves are for digging in the trash and heavy boots to step junkyard safely. Oh, great concept, I always wanted to play as a homeless mid-planet. He shoots with a rifle called Sanctuary Bazz Rifle 320. Oh. 1/3 of the heroes in that game have a rifle or SMG as a main weapon, so they gave them funky names in order to pretend they are different. His skill is intensive care, but it's not explained if he provides or needs. And passive ability to second wind. I do that passively from time to time too. But if you think this is awful and can't be worse, look at this. That's Doll legendary skin. He looks like a bad cosplay of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Fireworks Studio implemented this to the game, so I guess they really believe this is a high quality skin. It's not called legendary for no reason, right? Looking at this leads me to believing that replacing artist's job by AI doesn't sound that bad, at least in the case of this game. So Doll is not only a fat pig but also dressed very badly. How am I supposed to like such a hero? Would you like to play as him? Yeah, okay, you meet from time to time interesting obese heroes, but Doll surely does not belong to that group. Basically, people like to play games as attractive or interesting characters, like as Duke Nukem, a big, strong badass who shoots accurately, both with bullets and one-liners.
Nukem, and I'm coming to get the rest of you alien bastards.
What's interesting in this guy? Who on earth would like to play as hero uglier than themselves? Gee, that's not how it works. These people ignore the principal gaming rules. One of the reasons we like to play video games is that we can immerse ourselves in a world different from ours. All where I can immerse here is between his 2nd and 3rd fold. What's the point in putting heroes like that? We have a lot of fat people in our world. I have proof for that! He has a Zig-12 Guild Guard rifle, throws grenades and smokes and has a pistol as a sidearm. Why, that sounds familiar. Yes, Theo is a copy-paste of Counter-Strike guy. His appearance is not original either, that's why they tried to make him more unique by adding a shoulder pad and a rare eye color variation called heterochromia. It would be wiser to have armor on your head than shoulder, but you will find pretty soon that wise this game is not. The only interesting thing is his ability to look through smoke. That actually sounds nice, but besides that, Theo is boring as fuck! Goodbye, Generate Gun.
No, please come back. I'm not boring person.
Yes, you are.
No.
I like the sound of her gun. And that's where the good sides ends. She basically looks like a cheap cosplay of Doom Guy, so we have the original and cheap imitation made by Fatso. Original, Fatso. For some reasons, Firewalk decided that she is going to be ridiculously big, which is a bad idea, because giant women are not attractive or interesting. They are funny at best, but in most cases weird and creepy. And they are unreal. Men are taller, but even if she were a guy, this height would still be ridiculous. So obviously, Emari with her size was the best candidate to be a very high alien character. And they didn't do that! Why? Think about it, the game takes place in space, the world is full of aliens. Some heroes in that game are aliens, why did they ignore such an opportunity? What was the reason? Okay, I assume that Theo is 1.8 meter tall. We can see that Emari is around 60% higher, which means she is almost 2.9 meters tall. The tallest woman in history was over half meter smaller. Even Robert Wadlow, the highest man in history, was smaller. From what I've heard, nowadays characters in gaming are purposely ugly in order to look natural and similar to average people. Well, I have a strong doubt that almost 3 meters tall woman is good representation of the mob, so the outcome is that Emari is both ugly and weird. Can anybody tell me what is that thing between her eyes? At first I thought this is just a graphical artifact, but now my guess is a piercing? Okay, but next to eyes? Even one lousy hair on my eyes irritates me. If I would see all the time this, I would become mad. Her legendary skin looks like a shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, wait. Also, what's the purpose of this weird small flag? Is that to make her more visible on the battlefield? Like, she's almost 3 meters tall and it's not necessary. A vacuum cleaner from the future, like, literally. He's sucking projectiles, compressing them and then tossing as a trash bomb. I like that idea. But I do not like him. His appearance is obviously another disaster in this game. This is the worst robot I've ever seen. I thought this title would be held forever by a robot from Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. Wait a second. This cartoon wasn't just my fever dream? Oh no. Anyway, I was mistaken. Behold, the new champion! One of is a battle robot but looks super clumsy and unstable. That's because his body is basically a big barrel that rests on 2 weird, stupid short legs. It hurts to watch when he walks, especially with his back to us because he had mud flaps on ass. Oh no. There is no positive aspect about his look. Even kids draw better robots. Just look at this. This is my robot I draw as a kid. Look at this shape. I was very proud of this shape and this machine gun hidden in the arm. This is his upgraded version. Oh, what we have more? This is Obelix, Asterix. This is Shambler from Quake. Hey, I remember this. This is Juliet from the end of the book when she stabbed herself. Now you may ask why I am referring to him as a man. Ding dong, this is Concord, that's the clue of character design in this game. Maybe heroes are abysmal and boring and stylishless and have mud flaps on ass, but at least they have pronounces. The Fierce is another aging woman in this game. Oh, wait a second, she's they, them. What makes at least 2 old women? Oh, how cute! They wear protective suit, and these pipes are probably stoma and artificial intestines. You know that thing. Well, whatever it is, I believe it should be placed on the back and armored, not on the front to be easily destroyed by the enemy. Their weapon is a grenade launcher, burning enemies.
Wait a second, it burns them too?
That's what I assume when seeing fire visual effect here. So they are wearing fireproof suit, launching fire grenades, and receiving fire damage?
The expert's on it.
Hey, ladies. The expert would wear a suit protecting from substances going to be used. Am I right, Mr. White? Damn, it's stupid and ugly.
Oh, I profoundly apologize. They are.
Roka!
Her weapon is a semi-automatic rocket launcher. They want me to believe that Roka is able to wield it despite being a thin, short young lady. In order to do that, Fireworks simply called her rocket launcher light. But I strongly doubt that a rocket launcher firing multiple rockets can really be light. But there is more. Roka flies using jet boots and performs a ground slam attack with the jetpack, which I actually find as a nice move, but performed by someone so small makes it unconvincing. Also, flying up and down so fast with a rocket launcher generates big acceleration forces. Can she endure them? I'm not an expert, but gonna try to calculate them approximately. Her rocket launcher looks like an M202 Flash, which weighs 12 kilograms loaded. That's not much, but we need to add guidance and auto-reload systems and stretch in the structure due to G-forces. Also, unlike the M202, her weapon loads up to 8 rockets. I added 3 kilograms per mentioned feature, which doubles the original weight. Now add 2 or 3 kilograms for this supportive rail. That makes 26 kilograms in total. You know, it's a complicated matter. I needed to ask AI for help and calculations, and I needed to be very precise and careful of what am I writing. In the first case, I assumed she was 5 meters above the ground. From the start of flying to this slam passes 15 frames, which makes half of a second. The result is 50 Gs, which makes 3,000 kilograms. Does she look like someone who can lift 3,000 kilograms? One Grand Slam would tear her apart and end her flying career forever. And the walking career probably too. Second case is even more interesting because I assume she is 7 meters above and the time is equal to 9 FPS only, which means 1/3 of a second. The result is outstanding, 231 Gs, which means that just a rocket launcher made a pressure of almost 6 tons. You can't avoid all these practical problems just by saying,
Her rocket launcher is light.
that's a very lazy and stupid explanation. And of course some of you may right now scream to the screen,
It's just a game, you idiot! It doesn't need to be perfectly real!
yeah, that's absolutely true, but my point is there is a big difference when a game moderately bends the reality and when pushes nonsense arguing this by
Hey, it's just a game.
even imaginary worlds are limited to so laws. This is something I have a feeling many people can't understand. I could accept that she can endure pressure of 400 kilograms. Okay, eventually, but not 6 tons. Also, it would be much easier to accept this if she would look like this than this. Speaking of visual aspects, Roka's design is not only stupid but also makes me want to puke. Like this. I guess you got it already. But if not, one color covers almost the entire suit. It looks like an unfinished amateur project. It's hard to believe that Firework agreed for that design. Also, why does she wear this big helmet and why it is so weird? What are these dots? Briefing holes? Parking sensors? I don't get it. Were animators too lazy to animate her face and hide under the helmet? Also, Roka has an irritating amateur personality, just like its. Oh shit, is she cheering herself? Cringe. What I'm trying to tell you is the fact that a flying thing being able to shoot 8 guided rockets look like this and Roka like this. And I don't find saying
Her rocket launcher is light.
as an sufficient explanation.
LARK.
LARK! 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 This is an interesting example of how lazy people were working on this game. LARK is a spiced mushroom guy. This makes so many design opportunities, yet they decided to make just another boring, bipedal, 5-fingered anthropomorphic creature, and the only visual mushroom attributes are skin and this cap on top of his head. Besides that, there is nothing making this guy a mushroom. What they could do? First of all, who said it needs eyes? It could have some kind of solar-sensitive horse or whatever. Same for mouth. Why mushroom would need a mouth? It's not Smurfs! Also, it's walking on 2 legs? How? What these legs are made of? Of fungus? It makes no sense to me. This concept is so lazy and dumb. What they could do? Well, here are some of my ideas of what LARK could be. 1. Symbiotic organism of half fungus and half tree. He would walk on flexible branches and shoot using willow whips. 2. A mushroom riding an animal, or even be a parasite manipulating animal. 3. Eventually, if you really insist that stupid mushroom really needs to be a soldier, make it a little more realistic. If you've ever been in the woods, you've noticed that some mushrooms are covered with slippery slime. Let LARK slide using this substance instead of running. Make it jump using a gas explosion just like Puffball does. It could even be treated as a poison attack. But this is the most lazy concept. So of course Firework decided to use that one. But basically, since the idea of a fast deadly mushroom sounds like a madman's fever dream, the best option is 4, to reject the idea of mushroom soldier. What's next? Vegetable heroes? It could work in cartoonish games, but Concord isn't that one.
There is nothing like a lark.
Hey, you sure about it? Just look at the next heroes.
Bazz!
I present to you the worst character in the game. Even worse than one of or Roka. Bazz looks like a caricature or a joke. She looks like Bo. Big shoulders, stupid afro, weird glasses. Who thought such glasses would be a good idea? Shouldn't this thing be lower in order to let glasses rest on the nose instead of the forehead? She's an agile assassin throwing knives. Oh yeah, that's how I imagine an assassin. Bazz basically reminds me of a 50-year-old mama purchasing groceries in Walmart, not an assassin. Her look doesn't suggest anything like that because she wears an enormous uncomfortable cloak and big afro. Both these things really slow her down a lot. From an agile assassin, I would expect wearing slim clothes, silent sneakers,
And diet for fuck's sake.
and an aerodynamic haircut, not these two stupid cannonballs.
And change these dumb glasses to sport goggles.
But maybe they didn't follow such steps because they were afraid Bazz would look too similar to an already existing character, like this chick from Overwatch. Yes, they had a choice: make a hero being similar to other well-designed character, or make a unique character even if this would be the ugliest and stupidest concept on the planet. The thing is, most studios pick the first option for the very obvious reason. Most of the well-designed characters looks more or less similar to each other because archetypes never change. Strong heroes will be buffed, bad guys will be ugly and or dark color damned, and fast agile people will be tall and thin. That's why Tracer is a very good example of good design. Her slim, long legs are more than a half of the entire body and her look almost screams that she is fast, jumpy and agile. Now, what does her design tell us? That CIRCUS arrived to town?
That someone's been scamming Sony for money for 8 years.
That's right.
What makes it even funnier, this is the best looking version of Bazz. Look at these concept arts. A fashion dictator, racer, plumber, painter, cowgirl? None of this looks like an assassin throwing knives.
You're gonna remember me.
Yes, unfortunately. Such a bad design will lie forever in my head.
That's right.
Oh shit.
Welcome to our Concord Circus. We have Bazz the Clown, Do the Fantastic Polo, LARK, the one with rare skin disease, the Beast, Fire Catcher, temporarily in hospital due an accident, the tallest woman in the world, the man with no personality, fresh popcorn, and nightclub. Now meet the rest of our crew. At first...
Okay, so KYPS is basically the spy from Team Fortress 2 but as a robot. Her eyes are just a screen, which is stupid, because screens emit light, while eyes are supposed to capture it. And mouth is a speaker, so her head is still all the time. Lazy. Her model is nice, but KYPS looks like a robotic lesbian car saleswoman or insurance agent. Or whatever, but surely not like a battle spy robot. I also think they didn't make much use of her robotic body. KYPS throws disruption grenades. She also throws balls, letting her track enemies with her eyes. But this doesn't sound like a thing that only robots can do. Both grenades and balls can be thrown by anyone, and I guess cyber goggles would do fine to track enemies. Do KYPS have any skills exclusive to robots? Like auto-aim, infrared scanner, maybe a taser? 10,000 volts, insta-kill or paralyzing taser from her arm would suit both the robot body and the spy profession, don't you think? Maybe a voice imitation system? She's speaking using a speech synthesizer, so it should be her natural skill. No? Okay, maybe eye projecting hologram? A blinding lamp? Anything that makes use of her robot body? No? So you're telling me KYPS is just another bipedal anthropomorphic person, just this time made of metal? Okay. Lazy. What am I even expecting? She doesn't even have a knife. KYPS is a spy and suppressed pistol is her only weapon. Lazy. And boring too. The thing is, she's a robot, so you can do anything with her. KYPS would have like 6 or 8 legs, letting her walk silent and climb walls. Just imagine camping on a wall while being invisible and then insta-killing prey with a taser. Or paralyzing. Or anything, again, wasted opportunities and lack of vision. The artist cared about absolutely meaningless details like the fact that one side of her thighs are covered with silicone, but neglected essentials like making her an interesting character to play as.
Well, at this point I think they added one letter in her name too much. Jabali!
This boring asshole looks like a sniper hunter gardener, while he actually is just another soldier with a machine gun.
Yes, indeed.
And what makes him unique, except looking like a priest studying sacred books, is skill, letting him throw balls that heals mates or hurts enemies. Jabali looks like a weird combination of things that separately may sound like cool stuff, like Helsing, Michael Jackson, fishing, and Inspector Gadget. Oh, by the way, I never liked that cartoon. I saw as a kid this cool intro with kick-ass music and thought, wow, what a cool guy, he can fly. He can stretch his rubber arms. Whoa, that's super. I bet he can arrest any criminal. And then the show starts and we see that Gadget is a clumsy idiot and all cases are solved by a little girl and...
Stupid dog!
That was a disappointment. And so is this guy. Mixing all this together was a mistake. The result is this, and I guess we all agree that the outcome is, well, not interesting. Another soldier that doesn't look like one. Oh, by the way, what's this? Pacemaker? Is he another chronically ill hero? Oh, speaking of fishing, do you know what's the name of fastest fisherman? Spinning Gonzalez!
Vale!
Simply the best hero in this game. The only one that I can say that is good. Seriously, she has a sniper rifle and looks like a sniper. Vale jumps very high and has robot prosthetic legs allowing her to make such jumps. All these things make sense. Additionally, she isn't fat, old or chronically ill. How possibly something that doesn't look horrible and makes sense was allowed to appear in this game? It must be someone's mistake. Judging by other characters, I was expecting something like this. Maybe someone secretly changed files just before the game release? Or maybe this was just an oversight and the guy who designed Vale was fired?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm afraid you don't understand our standards and values properly. Unfortunately, due to your deeds of pure hate, we will first terminate your contract.
Anyway, as you can see, it is possible to create a character that is, let's say, modern. She has prosthetic legs, so we can say that is disabled, I guess, and be a good one. It keeps bothering me though if her good design is a result of well thought out development or just an accident, because it's not so obvious. Look at her legendary skin, it's horrible. I don't even know what is this supposed to be. A chicken? A broccoli? Can really one person or one team create such a good hero and simultaneously this shit blob? Since Concord has 16 heroes and almost all are ugly as cow's butt, it leads me to believing that yes, Vale has been made well accidentally.
Lennox!
Another hero whose design makes no sense. They decided that his primary weapon was a revolver. And you may say,
what's so special about it? Many characters have the same. Example, Spy in Team Fortress 2.
okay, but Spy is not a damage dealer offensive class, unlike Lennox. In order to make his revolver competitive against submachine firearms, sniper rifle and rocket launcher, they made it as big as Emari's ass. And that's stupid, I guarantee you that after around 5 shots from such caliber, his wrist would be messed up and some further shots would break his arm. If they really insist on the concept of a mini cannon revolver, make him wear a protective glove or rail on his arm that minimizes the destructive effects of recoil, or simply add a rifle stock. But obviously, adding things that sounds reasonable is not okay with Firewalk standards, so they gave him a life jacket instead. Also, he's just another bipedal humanoid boring idiot. He's a lizard man, yet doesn't look much like one. More like a human who eats canned beans too often. Or Grinch from space. This is how well-designed lizard man looks like! Look at this redesign. This version is so much better, not only because he is more lizard-like. I am satisfied as a picky about detail swiner as well. Revolver is smaller, his arm bigger, and now Lennox is wearing a protective wristband. The personality of this guy is weird and inconsistent. Lennox is an offensive class, but...
Oh, sorry, wrong picture.
Lennox is an offensive class, but in the cinematic he is presented as a sensitive...
Captain.
Lennox, you don't have to.
No. I want to say this. I've been alive a long time, and I have done some pretty awesome things, and some...
And blah blah continues, you got the point. He is also neurotic, and overreacting, submissive,
No scaffolding. Zero scaffolding, I promise.
treating everything too serious, weird dude talking to dolls.
Why are you kissing a tchotchke?
And sauces.
We're apart for so long, I thought I'd never feel your fiery embrace again.
I mean, some people are just like that and it's okay, I guess, but this simply contradicts his frontline killer role.
Alright! Boom knife! So many targets, so little time!
Blah blah blah, computer, nobody understands me, blah blah blah, I'm so sensitive, blah 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 blah.
Starchild!
This hero is a mix of two characters, Scale Bear from Quake Champions who has the charge skill, Starchild uses the very same, and abusive father with violence issues. At least this is how I read his red head, and his charge as an attack of uncontrolled aggression. Legendary skill makes him look like Star Mother. I have no info if this changes his pronouns though. He's Borg, let's just go forward.
HaYmAr!
Next to Vale, HaYmAr is the only well-made hero in terms of appearance and design, except maybe for the sneakers. She looks like a magician and acts like one. I mean, kind of, because HaYmAr is not casting fireballs, but ignites some orbs, presumably purchased in the store or something, I don't know. Then she throws them or shoots with a crossbow, and she holds it in one arm only, which somewhat irritates me. Shooting with two arms would be much more convenient, accurate and less tiring for the arm. But besides that, as said before, her appearance and design is good. Too good for Concord standards. I bet someone from Firewalk noticed that and sent something like,
Whoa, hold on. That's against our policy. Can you make her ugly? Add someone practice armor, make her old or fat or something?
no, it's too late to change the entire model.
Or at least make her face and personality unappealing.
And they did to some degree. Just look at her. She's tired, unkind,
How bad is it? You're still mad at me?
has crazy eyes and has sarcastic attitude. But I have a feeling Firewalk regrets giving her that last wow.
Set your expectations low. And prepare to be disappointed.
What's interesting, she looks like a normal person in trailers. Maybe HaYmAr went insane when realizing what game she appeared in. How do you know they are creeps? Do you see creeps everywhere? Are creeps in the room with us now? Anyway, despite being an irritating smartass with crazy eyes, she is the second and last likable hero in that game.
Duchess!
Old hack even older than it's, both Davirs and Bo. This game surely likes old people, but the problem is that if your game has such, make sure they look strong and in shape. Yeah, like that.
They have broken through.
Oh, nice. They finally got it, I guess. Duchess has elegant SMG, but we couldn't find info how much damage elegance grants. Her ability is to create walls that enemies can jump over or wait a few seconds before they disappear. We believe that it's not impressive, and we guess that skill is completely useless on open battlefields, except maybe for the capture the flag mode. Duchess is also able to throw an orb that makes the enemy vulnerable. It may sound generic, but it's okay. What more we can say about that brave soldier? She's old. Oh, we said it already.
I think we're done here.
Yes, we are, but only with characters. Now let's talk about the game issues. Because yes, there is even more. I've noticed that heroes are talking way too much. I shouldn't be surprised, the game contains 50% more female heroes than male ones. Oh, I thought equality means something different, but maybe I suck at math. Oh, I can see that now, okay. Anyway, they talk when the game starts.
Faces on some warning posters.
When seeing the enemy. when being severely hurt,
Severe damage. Systems failing.
when getting a frag, when reloading a weapon. Ugh, HaYmAr, you are 3 meters tall. It's impossible to cover you. When using skill, and even when healing their stupid ass.
Healing up, people mock me.
They can't shut dumb mouths for even 5 seconds. Shut up!
Took zone C. Get control of another zone. Don't let them capture another zone.
Shut up! We know the rules of mode that exist for almost 30 years. In Quake 1, for example, all I hear from this handsome gentleman is and oh! I don't need more. Maybe except some cheesy one-liners.
Here we go! Ah!
Just imagine releasing Quake 1 with such bubbling and mouth fartings. Here's when my adventure starts. Hello there. Time to die. Die. Perfect pain. Render. I need medical attention right now. Restoring precious health. This weapon will help me nail you. So you better watch your... Another thing is that after every death you need to choose your hero again, which is mega stupid. In a fierce long battle it may mean like additional 50 hero choices and hearing 50 times pickup lines. Oh, it must be irritating.
Come on, let's go.
Why not? That's right. I got you. Yes, me and my crew. I got you.
That's right.
My other thought is that heroes have way too few weapons.
I got you.
3/4 of them have one. Only one!
Got you.
Heroes' skills are replacement for secondary weapons, but is this model better than the old good concept of having primary weapon, secondary weapon, melee and grenades and other stuff? I don't know, man, it's up to you, but personally I would expect at least 2 weapons per hero, because 1 sounds pretty boring even if you have abilities. Let's take a look at KYPS, for example. Radar of a weakening ball does not deal damage. It means she can harm the enemy with a pistol only. During the entire match, you shoot from a pistol only. This sounds
mega boring.
Spy from Team Fortress 2 has a few alternative versions of a revolver, and each changes the way of play. And he still has knife, which have their variants as well. 5 revolvers, 5 knives. Makes 25 possible combinations in total. And now compare that to stupid KYPS and her only one weapon with only one variant.
Got.
Lazy.
Got.
Summary.
Concord made a few horrible mistakes, and asking $40 when there are 3 alternatives is only one of them. Competitive shooter with weird heroes. How much?
That's gross.
Too much.
It's free.
I won't play it anyway. The other one is that the game has inconsistent and unclear form. We don't really know what is that all about, and ugly weird heroes make everything worse. Let's focus on the game's tone for a second. Trailers suggest that the game is serious, while characters look obviously like a cartoon or parody ones. We have also heroes with very light attitudes like Roka or It's. So what's this game? It's light-hearted, like Team Fortress 2, or grim like Diablo? It perfectly illustrates this problem. In one place looks like a young alien party animal, in another like a crazy aunt, and in this animation like a lizard lady taking her job seriously.
Come on, let's go.
These are 3 different people. I guess in the game we encountered the most ugly version of our beloved heroes. That's because realism has been mixed with a ridiculous design, which resulted in this. This is obviously unappealing.
That's right.
Consistent or not, the heroes' designs are horrible. They are fat, stupid, weird, crazy, old, ugly, making no sense, ridiculous, boring, etc. We don't know much about the team, they are called free gunners, and it seems they are mercenaries or spies for hire. In 3 trailers they steal something from someone, and in another they provide stolen goods to a group that resembles the mafia or black market.
1 titanium water valve, just like the Salt Lord ordered.
What people are they robbing? Why? From what? They are working for who? You know, it's a big difference if they are hired, for example, by spaceful government to steal parts from somewhat evil organizations, or they are simply criminals for hire that will do and steal anything for the right price. Fortunately, we have Wikipedia. In the future, there is a big corporation called the Guild that monopolizes space travel and commercial agriculture and has a private army to protect its interests. Concord heroes, known as free gunners, steal goods from them and then sell them. Now I guess we are supposed to assume that this corporation is bad because it's big. The problem is the players shouldn't assume things, they should be told to them. If they were to give stolen goods to poor people or something, the morality of their behavior could be discussed, but all we see is doing jobs for the mafia, so I guess we can all agree they are rather bad people.
My people aren't peasants. We have honor.
Whoa, sorry, but if you are a criminal, you have no honor. That's why proper introduction to the world and lore matters. Big words spoken on a poor ground or one made of lies will simply not hit. Anyway, they talk often about how important the crew is.
Free gunner code. Crew first.
Job second.
And it basically looks like an introduction to a single player or cooperative campaign. Free gunners versus guild corporation.
And then in the actual gameplay you're fighting each other! What the fuck?
What is this game all about once again? Who are they? Doing what and why? According to lore, these matches are battles of 2 gangs wanting to steal the same thing. It sounds hilarious. Yeah, whatever. This big mess obviously makes the game very undesirable and difficult to immerse in. The game was received by the players very badly. Fireworks Studio crew had only one response: that players are haters and toxic people. Which is funny, because the only toxicity I've noticed was present on Fireworks' side. Firstly, the toxic positivity when they've been creating the game. Oh, let's face it, surely there were people during the development who would gladly say that this is a garbage, but they probably wouldn't listen. Everything is cool, right, people? Yeah, woo. Excuse me? Oh. You again? Yes, you see? Yes? Does Emari really needs to be 3 meters big?
Oh my, looks who's spreading the negative energy again. Do we really need to listen to this guy? We are creating this game for a few years, come on!
Well, my point is...
And my point is, we need more positive energy and love than hate.
Hey, it's not a hate, I just share my opinion.
If it hurts someone, it's not an opinion, it's a hate. Look, apologize and just work with us. Together. My brother.
And then, when the game has been released and received negative feedback, we could see a classic denial, delusion, toxicity in Fireworks employee responses. I don't care what you think, I made this game and I like it, so you must too. And if you don't, you must be a hater and freak. Okay. To be honest, I'm not even sure how to describe what happened here. I've been just kidding, Fireworks Studio is right, and I hope they will purchase my game. I call it Condor. It's a $60 2 versus 2 team shooter. It contains heroes like Benny Obobo, the assassin. She throws peoples. Slugstorm, fastest motherfucker in the world. John McFish, heavy damage dealer and tank. You better not deal with them. Before we finish, I must tell you about one interesting thing. The longer I've been doing this review, the less ugly I've found all these characters. Don't take me wrong, I am still thinking these heroes are soulless and ugly as vomits mixed with vermin. But in past, I would give, for example, KYPS 4 points out of 10, and now like 4.5. Why? Probably because I started getting used to this hideousness. Just like you are slowly getting used to the stench in a public toilet or in a changing room in the gym. At first time you almost dies, but after 20 visits, the odor hits you much less. And I guess that's why Fireworks didn't notice the incoming disaster.
8 years sounds like a lot of time to get used even to the worst characters ever designed.
And this game has such. Okay, let's sum it up. Concord failed because it costed $40 where there are 3 alternatives. Does not provide any important changes or improvements to the genre. Heroes are unappealing, weird and conceptually stupid. Fireworks Studio had denial, delusion attitude during the game creation process. From what I see and what I have heard, the gunplay was quite good. I think the dodge feature is an interesting thing and some heroes' skills are nice. But when the game faces issues just like one listed above, the gameplay simply doesn't matter. Gameplay is the most important thing, yes, that's true, but Concord case proves that it is not everything. Once realized that, it becomes obvious why Concord couldn't end otherwise. At least Sony understood this pretty fast. Just after 12 days they decided to shut down the game. Forever. It was one of the biggest flops in gaming history.
It cost $400 million to play this game for 12 days.
Learn from their mistakes. Please do. Fireworks Studios' Cope costed a lot of time, effort and dollars. All for nothing. All wasted. Do you realize the scale of that flop? Aviva Stadium in Dublin has been built for similar money. Imagine that instead of this, you have this. Because money is only a tool. You may have in your game good textures, models with a lot of polygons, great audio plugins for music, but these are still only a tool and do not guarantee success. Concord is like a new kid in the district that has the newest iPhone, cool clothes and toys and shit. But nobody is going to like him if he is boring, mean, unkind, smelly and creepy. The very expensive lesson Fireworks Studio gave us is, if you won't face the truth will face you, but 10 times stronger. Well, that's all, thanks for watching, and goodbye! Follow me on, here.